Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Andy, El Tiburon Vences. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This isn't your regular video. I know everyone in boxing and everyone in the boxing world, they always talk about the dedication, the hard work, the discipline it takes to become a boxer. But this video I'm about to drop to you guys right now is straight game. No one ever talks about the hardships and all the challenges you face once you walk away from the sport of boxing. I'm a retired pro. I retired 2 years ago in June. Back in 2023, I had my last fight. I was a professional boxer, signed to Top Rank. I fought in many arenas here in California as well as in Las Vegas. I fought on ESPN, pay-per-view, Fox Sports 1, Solo Boxeo, you name it. I was headlining, co-main eventing many events here in California and on TV. I want to get into this. If you hold tight till the end of the video, I'm really going to talk about just everything in general throughout this video. Just hang tight because it's not a regular video. In boxing, starting off as a kid, I was, obviously, I loved boxing. I worked hard. And in boxing, when you start, obviously, if you work hard and you train and you're disciplined, you're going to see a lot of success. Throughout my whole amateur career, I didn't have the best success, but I had somewhat success to where I became a great average fighter. In 2012, I ended up turning pro. I ended up selling tickets. I did the whole hard battles of becoming a local professional. Eventually, I reached a record. I headlined a fight on Fox Sports 1. I believe it was in June 26, 2015. I won by knockout on Fox Sports 1 versus a guy that was signed to Golden Boy. I sold many local tickets. Obviously, after that fight, I got signed to Top Rank. And I'm just talking to you guys about all my success because I just want you guys to see how it went up. It was up, 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 up. Through my amateur career, it was up and down. Obviously, the experience. I turned pro, it was up. 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. You guys got to realize, at this point in my career, in my life, when I was 12-0, getting signed to one of the biggest promoters in the world that signed fighters like Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, Miguel Cotto, Manny Pacquiao. I mean, what more do you want as a professional boxer if you're getting an offer from one of the top promoters in the world? Like, I wasn't going to say no. Eventually, I signed to that promoter, which was Top Rank Inc. I was a signed fighter. I fought for them. I main evented for them on a couple of events. I fought on Solo Boxeo. Then I later started headlining and co-main event on ESPN. It continued going up, up, up. At 16-0, I fought for the WBC Continental Americas title in Las Vegas a day before Manny Pacquiao fought. I mean, this ride was just going up, up, up. I was, 16-0 when I won that fight. I was obviously 17-0. I had a great fight on the Oscar Valdez undercard versus Eric De Leon. Ended up in a draw. Many people thought I won. I kept fighting. I kept winning. So this ride was it was nonstop. Later, I started fighting at the MGM Grand, where I suffered my first loss against Albert Bell. It was at that point, that I took my first loss. But even then, I fought again. It was up again. And then I suffered another defeat that many people thought I won versus Luis Alberto Venado at the MGM Grand. This was during COVID in the bubble. So I had all these fights. I got signed. Obviously, shortly after that, I fought on pay-per-view. Think about it. I earned my first six-figure paycheck. There's not a lot of fighters in the world that will ever see six figures, and that's facts. Many people fight. Some retire early, some retire later, but nobody ever reaches the pinnacle to fight on pay-per-view and reach a six-figure paycheck unless they're fighting for a world title. And even then, I wasn't fighting for a world title. So my career came to an end only because my last fight in June 2023, it was the first time ever I suffered from a concussion. It wasn't a good fight. I didn't get dropped. I've never been knocked down throughout my pro career, so I'm very fortunate to have that on my resume, that I've never been stopped throughout my whole professional career. And I give credit to my conditioning, my father, my trainers. But when I stopped boxing, I was going through like shortly after I started my YouTube channel, because I had a lot of downtime, and I think I started the YouTube channel throughout my pro career, but I started getting really into my YouTube channel because I wanted to talk about boxing, because it was like, that's what I've done. That's all I've done. Like, what more do I have to talk about? What more do I have to share? All my experiences from 14 years old to 32 have been boxing. Like, I have nothing to do, nothing to teach anyone other than boxing. So shortly after my career was over, I guess you could say I was thinking a lot of like, what am I gonna do? Like, I was going through an identity crisis. Like, who am I? Like, what can I do? I don't know how to do anything. Like, I really don't. It's just on. I know there's some things I could have learned how to do, but it was just a very, very sad moment to where I was like, I didn't know what I was gonna do. At the time, back in my pro career, I was training people to obviously make a living. I was doing one-on-one training sessions, and I was making ends meet, and like things were working out. But to be honest, it was very up and down. During Christmas, it was down. And during the summer, when people want to get in shape and look better, I had obviously more clients. But yeah, after my career, after I permanently knew it was over, I was like, I gotta be a normal worker, a regular person. So I went to electrical school. I graduated from electrical school, but I never got called for work. So I was waiting around, I had finally learned something. I was happy for myself. I was like, okay, like, I'm gonna get a W-2 job. I'm gonna get benefits. Like, I'm gonna do what everyone else does, be successful, work 40 to 50 hours, and like, that's it. That'll be my life. That was what I had in my mindset, because that's what everyone else does in life. Even though it wasn't what I wanted to do, I knew that's what I had to do, because I needed consistent money. And me and my wife, we own a home. So the bills and everything, it just doesn't stop. So it was kind of like, that was the only way I was going to get consistent money where it wouldn't fluctuate like it did when I was training my privates. I'm actually grateful it didn't happen. For one reason or another, I never got called to go to electrical school. So I dedicated myself more to training. And I'm just telling you guys the story of where I'm at now. But no one, before I get into what happened next, no one really talks about like the battles you face after boxing. And I feel like I told you guys, the identity crisis, and I just feel that no one's gonna understand what you're going through. Like, think about it. Like, every time you fight, and you fought throughout your whole life, everyone's coming to watch you. Like, everyone's coming to see you. Everyone's coming to watch you. In a way, as it sounds, you are like the center of attention for that fight, for that moment. As soon as the fight's over, obviously you have your next fight, but you're in a spotlight. You're like in a spotlight, and then all of a sudden, it's over. So it's a pretty drastic change to where everyone supports you, and then all of a sudden everyone, like, they're on to the next fighters. They don't remember you, even though some people do. They don't really like hit you up. They don't really contact you. You're kind of on your own. You lose a lot of friends. All of a sudden, family doesn't contact you for anything, because before they used to contact you like, hey, how do I buy tickets, this, that. So it just really, like, it's very sad how when you're in the moment fighting, everyone wants to join the ride, but as soon as it ends, everyone fucking just runs away and just doesn't want to even, like, they don't even want to check up on you because they think it's normal. You stop boxing and that's it. So I would say to every boxer out there, have positive people around you that are at least going to check up on you. Unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because it wasn't a good thing, I ended up, here and there I would find myself drinking throughout the time because I didn't get called for electrical school, so I was kind of mad. Then I got contacted from a gym to go work at a gym, and it was at this point I needed money, so I said, you know what, I'm going to go work at this gym. I have no choice. I haven't been called. Like, what am I supposed to do? I need money. So I went to work at this gym, and Everything was fine. Everything was cool. And there's a lot of people here at my gym now that know the story, but I'm just going to say it again here on camera. But I was working at this gym not even for a full year when everything kind of fell apart. We had a little fallout with the owner. He was very unhappy about how we were running his business, how we were training his fighters, which were our fighters, because we were the ones there at the gym every single day. And it was then everyone had left the gym that was working with me. I was the one that stayed because financially I couldn't leave. As much as I wanted to leave, I couldn't. But I stayed there at the gym, and I didn't feel a part as family anymore. So then I felt like I did right after I retired. I felt lonely, I felt isolated, and I felt like I didn't know who I was or who I was working for, because I didn't want to be there. I really didn't want to be there. Shortly after that, I was terminated, and I left with the prior members at that gym that I worked there. I left with them to go rent at a gym. So then I was in a situation renting at a gym here in San Jose, but I wasn't getting paid the money I was receiving at the other gym for classes, and now I was paying rent at a gym. So if you add the two together, I'm very good with numbers. I'm like very good with my numbers because I was always budgeting throughout my professional career. And every month I had calculated I was short $2,200. So at that time, I didn't know what I was going to do. Thankfully, I had went back with the staff and the members that were at the prior gym. So this is why I tell everyone, this is my advice to everyone, be around people that are going to give you very positive and good advice. And they had told me, why don't you just offer classes here in the morning, just charge $100 per person a month and see who comes. I didn't think it would work. I told them I would post it, I would try it, obviously because we had recently all left the gym. Like I tell everyone, social media is everything. A lot of people don't use it and they sell themselves short. So sure enough, I made a post that I had moved gyms and that I was available to train people early morning. I had 25 people to sign up. $100 times 25, that was $2,500. I was short $2,200. I was getting now $2,500. I was like, great. I'm floating. I'm consistent. I'll make it. Perfect. I continued working there, running classes. But then I realized how many people we were training, how many kids we had. And it was then the idea came where I needed to open a gym. It was then the idea came where I had a purpose. It was then I was motivated. It was then I was waking up early. It was then I felt like I had found another reason to do things in my life like I had done in my boxing career. Because you got to see, boxing is so much dedication. You can't just quit and be a bum. Even if you want to quit and be lazy, you have so much discipline, you need to like transfer it to something else. So anyways, while I was doing this, I realized like, you know what? There's so many people that were coming to the gym and obviously paying me. And in the evening, they were paying the gym memberships there. I realized that I had to come up with some funds and make like a move, because I was like, this is the perfect opportunity to take the jump to like open my own gym. Everyone always told me to open my own gym, but it was never like realistic until all these situations happened to where I worked at a gym, got connected with people, and then we went to another gym. It was then we had people. I had people. I had a team. So it was like I was going to do this not on my own. Although I was going to put up all the money, I now had a team. Someone to work the front desk who was an amazing person. Someone to work as a coach with me who's experienced. So it was like I had a team. So right there, just like in boxing, when you have momentum, I was working at a gym. I was renting at a gym. I knew I had to keep the momentum going. We couldn't stop. I remember my main coach told me, and I remember this, and he could He could call this all. I know he could recall this. He told me, it's okay, let's just wait next year. I said, no, we have momentum. We need to make it happen now. If we wait too long, people are going to forget about us, and that's it. It's like you're letting the momentum stop. Just like in boxing, when you have momentum, I had gotten offers when I was 12-0 from Golden Boy or Top Rank. Although I didn't like the numbered offers that they were offering me on paper, the numbers, I knew we could have turned it down and waited. But again, when the doors open, you got to go through them. You can't wait. So I was applying these same methods that I had in my boxing career to real life. Sure enough, I was able to get a loan, get these funds. And this was the risk that I took. I got all this money. It was like $50,000 that I got. But I needed another like $40,000 for the little pieces of equipment, the bags. Could it have waited? Yes, it could have waited. But again, I wanted to have all the momentum. So just like in boxing, you got to take a risk. Every time I had fought an undefeated opponent, I was like, you know what? See what happens. If you don't take a risk, there's never a reward. And the same little things in boxing that I realized about boxing, they apply to life. So at that point, when I was short on money, I said, you know what? I'm going to sell my stocks. I'm going to sell my crypto. Fuck it. I'm going to go all in. If this works, great. And if it doesn't, I'll figure it out. I swear that was my mindset. At that point, stocks were still doing good. So I sold them all. And did I feel bad? Yeah, I'm a numbers guy. I had nothing to fall back on. So I sold everything, and that was the extra cushion that I needed to buy all the extra stuff. Sure enough, we opened the gym in November. I'm now 6 months of owning a gym. I'm now a business owner. I can call myself like a legit entrepreneur. And since we've opened, I've seen so much success so fast. Like I told you guys, we had momentum. So when we opened, we got flooded with people. I obviously had a grand opening and all the stuff that we did. Looking back, I don't regret anything that happened. I just wish there was someone to tell me to look out who I have around me, because I feel I lost out. And obviously, I parted ways with a lot of friends that were kind of not helping me, parting away from boxing. People that were kind of negative, bashing me, joking around. It's just, as a boxer, you have to stay focused. You never know when boxing is going to end. Did you know when I was boxing, I never thought boxing would end? You don't even think about it. You're just boxing throughout your career, and you never think about what if it ends? Because you believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself so much, you're not thinking when it's going to end. So boom, my chapter closed, and I found myself very, very lost. I found myself, one of the things that I really advise people not to do, and I don't know why it happened to me. I don't know why I did it. I was drinking, I was smoking at night, because I needed to go to sleep. I just felt like my mind was very lost and very sad. And I'm very fortunate to be alive. I'm very fortunate that my wife didn't leave me, that she didn't divorce me. I'm serious. I really went through it. A lot of people don't know. And this is the thing a lot of boxers don't think about. They might listen to this video and go, I'm not there yet. I'm 15-0. I'm 10-0. Believe me, plan. Be smart with your money. One of the main things that I'm glad that I did with my money is I bought a home, because at least I'm a retired boxer and I can say I got a home. Imagine how it's going to feel when you walk away from boxing. So what'd you do? So what do you have? I don't have nothing. I just have my 2025 Camaro. The fuck? Anyone could lease a car, anyone could buy a car. So in boxing, be smart with your money and just realize you want to have something to show for it. As far as a smart investment, an asset that's going to appreciate over time, because I'm very fortunate I had made that move. Just like I made the move with the gym, just like I made the moves in my boxing career, I took the risk to buy a house and said, fuck it, let's see what happens. I'll move over there. Let's just see what happens. And You got to apply the same things in your boxing career to real life. Now that I'm looking back, everything happens for a reason, but if you don't use that same mental ideas and the things that you learned in boxing, if you don't take them with you and apply them to real life, after boxing, you're not going to be able to find success. But the main thing here in this video, protect who's around you. Like Mike Tyson's trainer said, and Muhammad Ali, all these guys, don't look around who's with you when you win in the locker room. Look around who's with you when you lose in the locker room. Those are your real people. Those are your real friends. And I guarantee you, whoever's around you when you get knocked out or you lose badly or you're on your third and your fourth defeat, there's not even going to be 5 people in that locker room that you're going to have on your fingers. It's probably going to be 1 or 2, guaranteed. I wish you guys the best in your pro career. I wish you guys the best in your amateur career. Don't give up. Don't listen to the doubters, the naysayers, and keep going. We live in a generation where you guys want fast results, but this takes hard work, discipline, and time. I was a very unsuccessful amateur, but I was a very successful professional, all because I ignored the doubters and the naysayers. Don't give up. Keep going forward, and just realize hard work pays off, but you have to believe in yourself before anyone believes in you.